I hadn't seen my family in 6 years, not because I didn't love them, but because I needed space. I'd taken a job abroad after college, first in London, then Singapore. The time zones and distance turned occasional calls into rare texts. But I always kept in touch, sent birthday cards, wired money when needed. I thought they understood. I thought we were okay. When I heard my dad was retiring, I cleared my calendar, booked a first-class flight, and flew back to surprise him. It wasn't about making a grand entrance. It was about coming home, about finally bridging the distance with something meaningful. I didn't tell anyone I was coming. I figured that was part of the surprise. The plan was simple. I'd show up at the retirement party, hand him the gift I'd spent months choosing, a rare vintage Rolex, engraved with the date of his retirement and a message I thought would make him proud. It cost me $100,000, a drop in the bucket now, but symbolic. A statement. You gave me time when I needed it most. Now I'm giving it back. The venue was a country club not far from the house I grew up in. I parked down the road, walked up the hill, heart pounding with anticipation. I'd rehearsed the scene in my mind 100 times. His eyes would widen, my mom would tear up, my sister would gasp, the crowd would clap. I opened the door to the banquet hall. No one looked up. People milled around, laughing over cocktails, smiling for photos, shaking hands with my father like he was royalty. The decorations were flawless. The banner read, "Congratulations, Robert." I saw my mom by the punch bowl, laughing with two of my dad's old co-workers. My sister stood at the center of a group near the cake. I walked up, smiling. "Surprise!" She turned. "What are you doing here?" she said, blinking. "You weren't invited." The words were like ice water. My smile faltered. I thought maybe the invite got lost," I said, trying to laugh it off. "I've been abroad." "You're not supposed to be here," she said, lower this time. "You know how things are." "No," I said, "I don't." Before I could ask more, my father turned from the crowd. His eyes met mine. No shock, no smile, just a quiet, tired nod, as if I were someone's co-worker who'd dropped by out of politeness, not his son. I stood there for a few seconds too long. Then I reached into my coat and pulled out the box. It was small and sleek, black velvet with gold trim. I opened it slowly, revealing the Rolex I'd flown halfway across the world to give him. "It's yours," I said, "for your retirement." He looked at it. His lips didn't move. His eyes didn't blink. I closed the box. "You know what?" I said, voice steady. "No, it's not." I slid it back into my coat pocket. "This," I said, sweeping my hand at the room, "this is my last day in this family." A few people had stopped talking. My mom finally noticed. I could see her face change, like she'd just remembered something unpleasant she'd meant to avoid. I turned and walked out. That was 3 hours ago. My phone has been ringing ever since. At first, it was my sister. "Where did you go?" That was dramatic. Then my mother. "Don't do this. Your father was just overwhelmed." Then calls from cousins, relatives I barely knew. "It's not as bad as it looked." I didn't answer any of them. I sat in my rental car, the Rolex box on the seat beside me, and stared out the windshield into the evening. I thought about the last 6 years, how I spent holidays alone, how I sent gifts home and never got so much as a thank you, how I called and left voicemails that were never returned, how I excused it all as they're just busy or they're not great at communication. But now I knew. They didn't forget me. They just stopped including me. And the truth hit harder than any argument could have. I hadn't been invited because I no longer counted. Somewhere along the way, they decided I was better off as a distant memory, easier to exclude than to engage, more convenient to admire from afar than to make room for again. That realization gutted me. I could have taken the pain and made a scene. I could have yelled, demanded answers, demanded tears, but I didn't want pity. I didn't want performance. I wanted clarity, and I got it. In that silence, in that nod, in my sister's question. I checked my phone again. New messages. My mother, he's upset. He just didn't expect you. My sister, he's crying now. Are you happy? Aunt Mary Ann, he keeps saying, I thought he was gone for good. I didn't know he was coming back. I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I just stared at the phone and felt the last of my loyalty dissolve. Back at the hotel, I ordered a drink and sat by the window. The watch lay beside me, unopened. I thought about mailing it, maybe selling it, maybe keeping it, a reminder of what I once believed a family was. The voicemails grew more desperate by nightfall. Please, one said. We didn't think. We didn't plan this. Another, just talk to us. Don't shut us out. I laughed, not out of joy, but at the irony. 6 years of distance, $100,000, a moment of truth, and now they wanted in. But the door had already closed. They were the ones who locked it. I was just the one who noticed.